All right, so today my plan is to introduce my new guitar, which is a Collings CJ45T traditional. This one has a sitka spruce top with this really nice sunburst and mahogany back and sides. If you're really interested in the specs, there's lots of places you can get them. So I'm going to focus just on what it sounds like. So I traded actually four guitars for this. I traded every guitar I had for this one guitar, hoping that it could do everything. One of the guitars I traded was a Collings OM2H, which I've had the longest and which I love. But one of the things that I didn't love doing with it was singing and strumming because it often felt like I was battling it with my vocals. And I think a lot of the reason for that is because of the really sparkly high end with lots of overtones. So this one has a good high end, which I'll get to in just a second, but the overtones are more in the mid range where they don't conflict with my voice as much. So it's a lot more fun to strum this guitar than it was the OM. So I'll do a little bit of strumming for you. So one of the reasons I did this guitar trade is because for about a year, I really didn't play very much guitar for a variety of reasons. And I just got this about a week ago and have been playing again for the first time in a year. So my fingers are a little bit dumb. You'll have to forgive me for that. But hopefully you can still get a sense of what it sounds like. It has some good low-end growl. I mean, it's not the bassiest dreadnought I've ever heard. It's pretty balanced, but you know, if you dig in on the bass notes, you can. It also whispers very well. It's good at, even when you play it quiet, there's a lot of tone. It's also good for just simple finger picking. So the high end, basically what I would describe it as is it's got all of the typical Collings clarity, but it feels like everything's kind of been dipped in honey. Like all the notes are just a little bit sweeter than what I'm used to hearing, even on like say a CJ35, which looks similar, although the specs are considerably different, especially the bracing. The one place where I find that I kind of miss the sparkle, the high-end sparkle, is on like a fingerstyle arrangement, but I still think this guitar sounds really good for that application too. Sorry. Really nice sustain, but it's mostly overtone. You know, the fundamental notes there, and then it kind of dies out, so there's room for other notes. It's pretty magical. It does have a very fat C-shaped neck. There's no V to this. And I was a little worried about that before I tried it, but even though I don't have very big hands, I find that I adapt to different size necks pretty easily, and I've found this one actually to be really comfortable. Yeah, it's a great guitar, and if you get a chance to play one, you definitely should. I don't find that I am missing a lot of headroom with this Sitka. If you're considering Sitka versus Adirondack, I think the Sitka sounds really good, and it's $1,000 cheaper, so there's that. Another place where I've noticed that this guitar excels is it has a really good note separation, even when you're playing chords. So it sounds very full when strummed, but if you're doing little, string changes in a chord run, you can definitely hear them come through. Excellent guitar. I'll record it again soon with me singing, but at least that gives you a little bit of a sonic profile, and you can see that it is like everything Collings makes. It is just about perfect, and you really have to see it up close in person and feel it to get a sense of the quality. But one thing I can tell is, well, it could totally be in my head because I know it's there, but I feel like I can tell that the finish on this is thinner than on my OM2H. Like it's just it's a visibly thin finish, and I have to think that has something to do with just how resonant it is. It's also very lightweight, just around 4 pounds, whereas my OM2H was about 4.5 pounds, but it was smaller, so it felt very dense. This feels like a really light guitar, and I really love it. So there you go.